Hey everyone, and welcome to the Vita Cast, episode 60. I'm your host, Tyler Woltop, and with me, as usual, is Kyle Wakeling.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and whatever other kind of people are listening.
There could be aliens. Maybe like in a distant future, they'll be listening one day.
Or dogs and cats. I know they listen to like radio and shit, so.
That's very true.
There you go.
We could be the biggest podcast for cat dog listeners out there. We never know.
You never know. If you're a cat or a dog, write us in.
Yeah, let us know. Alright, anyways. We're a Vita podcast. The Vita Cast. You should know that by now. Unless you're new to the show, then welcome. And enjoy our craziness. But first off, we're going to start off talking about what we've been playing. And I've been playing a few things. Of course, Freedom Wars. Me and Kyle have been playing that a bit. Trying to get Kyle that platinum trophy. But of course, the game's been, taking a poop on his chest.
Oh, man.
Isn't that right, Kyle?
Oh, it's been horrible. How long did we play last? What was it, last night? No, the other night.
It was Sunday night, I believe.
Right, they all run together for me since I don't sleep much.
Yeah.
So yeah, Sunday night we played for 3 hours, I think?
Yeah, 3 to 4 hours, I believe.
3 to 4 hours just grinding for some stupid material, and we didn't even get it. We played that long just going through the same mission to do the same thing to grind for this ultra rare material, and we didn't get it. We got 50 other ones, but we didn't get the one I needed, so.
The good news, though, is that I got my sentence reduced to 0. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm only at 110,000 now, so we're close, and I'm literally one bronze trophy away from the platinum, which we're hoping to get after this podcast, so fingers crossed.
Yeah, so let's hope and see. Anyways, other than that, I played a little bit of Destiny of Spirits. I'm grinding for that trophy where you log in every single day for 30 days. It's stupid, but I've been keeping up. I think I just got to day 8 today. Day 8 or 9. Whatever, I don't know. Played a little bit of that. I also played some of the new releases. I'll get into that when we get to the new releases. But other than that, I played a ton of WRC4. I'm really close to the platinum trophy in that, so a quick little shout out real quick. If you have WRC4 and you want to help me get the platinum trophy, then let me know at Mr. PSVita Reviews, because I want that platinum trophy, and all the trophies I need are the multiplayer trophies, and no one's playing, so yeah, and I work weird times, so hopefully someone out there can help me, and I would be eternally grateful. But anyways.
Someone help a Tyler out.
Yeah. Since this bastard here doesn't have the game, he can't help me.
Or you could always buy the game for me, and then I'll help you out.
Yeah. That's a little pricey there.
Hey, at least I'm offering.
That's true. Maybe if it was a little cheaper, I'd think about it more. But isn't it $40?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I love you, but I don't love you that much.
I know.
I sent you a Freedom Wars shirt, so it's going to be a little bit before I send you something else.
Yeah, and I love you for it.
Alright, well that's good. Alright, anyways, other than that, I played Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment, and I got my ass kicked. It was pretty pathetic. I was like, you know what? I've got all the stuff I need to fight the boss on floor 84 or 83, I can't remember. And I was like, let's do it. So Sinan and I walked in the boss room. I saw the boss, I was like, alright, here we go. Ran in there, slashed it a couple times. He did one swing with his axe, and there goes Sinan. And I was just
no.
Yeah. I just was like, yeah, I need to grind.
Yeah, I need to get all OP like me.
Yeah, it was a little disappointing when I saw that happen, so. Anyways, that's about all I've been playing. Like I said, I'll get into the other games I was playing when we get to the new releases. So, Kyle, what have you been playing?
Well, like you said, I've been playing some Freedom Wars. I got, like I said, my sentence down to, I think, 110,000. And I'm one trophy away from the platinum, so close. Yeah, I think I'm at 60 hours or so in the game, clock time, so played it a fair bit. Quite a bit of help from you and Shay to get there so fast, but that's what you guys are for, right?
Yeah. One step at a time, Kyle. One step
That's
at a
right.
time.
That's right. So almost cleared off another platinum and pretty much put the game away. Other than multiplayer and some fun um, left, and so I started a new game. I started Dragon Ball Z Battle to Z.
Oh yeah.
So I'm getting into that, and Tyler wants to do some co-op, so that's gonna be enjoyable, I imagine.
Yeah,
At the very
hopefully,
least.
if you get the platinum quick tonight, we are definitely getting some DBZ in.
Oh, there you go. All right. So that I've been playing that, and I'm not too far in it, but I think I got some of the basic mechanics down, and it seems pretty cool and looks great. So enjoying how it looks, especially on the Vita. Also played a little Senran Kagura Shinobi Versus. I've been buying the couple pieces of DLC that I'm missing bit by bit, and every time I add them, I got to play around a little bit. So that's what I did the other day with my 10% off. I got a $1.99 item, but and I played some Hatsune Miku Project Diva F, trying to catch up on the games from 2014 that I didn't quite get to and stuff like that. So played some of that, and I played some Duke Nukem 3D, and I really got to get back to that because I was really enjoying that before I got on this Freedom Wars kick that Tyler sent me off on. So that I'm gonna have to go back to that one too, and because I only have like 14% of the trophies, and I think I'm close to another one, so gotta go back and get those trophies.
Gotta catch them all.
That's right, gotta catch them all, or as many as I can. Sometimes I get quite a fair way through a game, and I'm like, okay, you know what? These other trophies that are left are way too hard, way too time consuming. Fuck that, and just move on to another game. But I'm not doing that on these ones, I don't think. So there you go.
Yeah. All right, that's it. That's all you've been playing.
Yeah. Other than I play a little Drive Club via remote play, which is always nice.
Nice. All right. Well, let's head on to the games that we reviewed this week. We got two. What did we review, Kyle?
All right. Well, first up, we have Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 2 Sisters Generation, which was reviewed by Liam, and he gave it a 4 out of 5. And he says, quote, Rebirth 2 is a great JRPG, and fans of the series will be happy to return to game industry on the PlayStation Vita. But the themes and style of the game won't be for everyone. So it looks like you'll have to read his review to find out what's up, and if you should get that sequel. Though he does give it obviously a good score. And the other review we have is Baboon, which was reviewed by Charlie and is coming out by the time this podcast hits your ears in Europe and hopefully soon in North America. And he gave it a 3.4 out of 5, and he says, quote, Baboon is a beautiful yet infuriating puzzler-cum-platformer that is fun yet fiendishly difficult in places. With a great art style and a catchy soundtrack to boot, Baboon is a game that will put a smile on your face and then quickly wipe it away with the challenge that it throws at you. End quote. So it looks like he enjoyed it, and I'm actually really looking forward to this one coming to North America because I think it might be my, play for a couple minutes, kind of throw myself in their game. Although, you never know, it might be that game that I say that and then never put it down. So
Yeah. You have to wait and see.
Yeah. No date on that yet for North America, but hopefully have some news on that soon.
Yes. It does look very interesting.
I like the anime style. Looks like, I don't know, cutscenes or, something like that. Visual novel scenes that they have somewhere in there. I saw a couple screens of that, and I thought they were kind of cute.
Yeah. Sweet. Well,
Yeah.
all right. Let's head on to those new releases. So, person with those new releases, let us know what we're getting our hands on this week. Hey everyone, Tyler here, going to bring you those new releases this week. So, North America, we are getting Grim Fandango for the PlayStation Vita, and its PlayStation 4 cross-buy as well. Also, Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 2 Sisters Generation. What a long name. As well as that, we are getting Nihilumbra, which is a nice little indie game. You should check it out. And for Europe, you guys are getting Baboon, and it's not available in Russia. And just keep that in mind. Also, that you guys are getting Grim Fandango Remastered, Magical Beat, and Nihilumbra. So there you go. Those are your new releases for both territories. Let us know what you're going to be playing. Back to the podcast. Alright, thank you for those new releases. Kyle, what are you getting? What did you got?
Well, I have nothing.
Aww.
I didn't get any of those new releases, unfortunately. I'm a broke ass mofo this week, so like I said, I only had the $1.99 to spend at that sale, and I would have probably grabbed quite a few more if I didn't have no money. So, yeah, nothing for me right now. However, I still have to play Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1, and once I'm done that, if I enjoy it, which I think I will, I'll probably be getting that second one. Nihilumbra looks interesting to me, but I think I might have to read some spoiler-free reviews before I jump into that. I don't know if there's spoilers much to be had, but you never know.
Or you can watch my video.
Oh yeah, I guess I could watch your video if your video doesn't fuck me over. And Grim Fandango I'm interested in, but like I said, I don't have the cash right now, so.
I gotcha.
Baboon, like I said, Europe only this week, so not going to be able to grab that one quite yet. What about you, Tyler? What interests you? What do you already have? What's up?
Well, I have all of them, except for Baboon, because, it's EU only right now. But, Grim Fandango I got. That game is hard. I love the art style, I love the characters, I love just a lot about it, but the game is hard, and I understand a lot of people are saying, that's the point of the game, it's supposed to be hard, it's not supposed to hold your hand at all, but damn, it is hard. So, either I suck at the game, or it actually is just a really challenging game that I'm going to have to, really think to get past certain parts, because there's been points where I'm just like, that's really the solution to get to the next point of the game? Holy hell, how did people figure this out back in the day without internet? So, yeah. Anyways, if you're interested in a very challenging story puzzle game, I would definitely pick it up. And then Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 2 Sister Generation is a fun game. I played the first one. I didn't finish the first one. I've put like 12 hours in this game already, and it's good. I really want to play more of it, but it starts to ramp up the difficulty pretty quick, which wasn't too bad because I could just go around and like grind and level up and call it good, and then fight a boss and be like, yeah, I got this since I'm leveled up. But sometimes it just gets annoying to me. But I still need to play more of it. I think I'm just now starting to get past some of the more interesting parts, but there's so many games that I've been playing, and I've been helping Kyle with Freedom Wars and myself platinuming Freedom Wars, So many games.
Well, it's nice when you clear one off, because then you only have to come back to it for the fun or the multiplayer or whatever. You don't have to worry about getting those trophies and stuff, so it kind of puts a little bit of weight off you, and you can concentrate more on other games. And when you do come back to that game, it's not like, oh, I gotta play this game, or oh, I gotta grind for something. It's like, oh, I get to do some sweet stuff because I don't give a shit about anything else.
Right.
So that's kind of how I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's nice, Freedom Wars is awesome, but now I don't really have to worry about like, oh, I gotta get that Plat, gotta get that level 10 weapon, oh god. So, it's nice to just play the game and be like, yeah, let's just have some fun. Although, me and you haven't been really having that much fun with looking for that resource, but...
Yeah, that was 3 hours of hell.
Yeah. But anyways, the next game, Kyle mentioned Nihilumbra. It reminds me, Kyle, did you ever play Dokuro?
Dokuro, yeah.
Dokuro, whatever the hell it was called. Did you like that game?
I did and I didn't. I don't know. It was one of those games I had to like force myself to play. But once I started playing it, I'd get into it and I'd like play it for like an hour or two. So I don't know. It was good, but it didn't have like a hook that, made you want to come back. It's one of those things you had to like force yourself into playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, this game gives a similar vibe. I don't know about that vibe, but like the gameplay and the feel of it. kind of.
The atmosphere and the themes, maybe. Does it
Yeah.
look like I haven't really?
It's okay. So Dekuro or whatever the hell, it has that chalk kind of art style.
Yep.
This one is more like, I think this one's a little bit more artistic, like more realistic-ish, more beautiful, I would say, looking. Like there's a scene where it's like snowing very very early in the game, and it looks really awesome just seeing all the snow come down and your character running around through it.
Cool.
So it's a nice little game. Um, like I was kind of whispering to you earlier, check out my video if you're interested in the game, or
I
check out
shall do
a
that.
review. Do we have someone that's taking a review?
Yeah, actually, our new recruit Hannah is taking the review, so she's working on Nihilumbra as we speak. Hopefully,
Awesome. So whenever she posts that, we'll be sure to let you know on the podcast.
there you go.
All right. Well, those are your new releases. Let's head on to the news we got this week. Not too much news, so we'll get right through it. So first up, I gotta scroll up to get to the first one. There we go. Anyways, are you still playing Double Eleven's tactical turn-based strategy title Frozen Synapse Prime? It was one of or the person that wrote this, favorite Vita titles last year, and if you're still enjoying it, you might be pleased to hear that a new patch should be available very soon with fixes, which fixes a variety of issues, which are a fix for campaign medals not updating when replaying missions, fix for a number of instances where multiplayer games could not desynchronize, fix a number of crashes, including deleting waypoints and multiplayer connections. A number of animation issues with Spectra units are fixed. Enabled match timeout of 2 weeks on multiplayer matches. So there you go. Like the story says, if you're still playing that, or if you took a break, you should definitely go check it out now with that fix. Next up, former Wii U exclusive coming to PlayStation platforms in the very near future. Originally released in May 2014 as Scram Kitty, and his buddy on rails Scram Kitty DX is headed to the PlayStation Vita as confirmed by developer Doko Limited. As the title suggests, Scram Kitty DX is a director's cut, so there will be a lot more content available on the PlayStation version of the game. Scram Kitty DX will also take advantage of the cross-buy initiative, so one purchase will net you the PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 4 version of the game. And next up, could the latest in the God Eater series and current Japanese exclusive God Eater 2 Rage Burst be heading west? It appears likely after the news that Bandai Namco has registered to have Rage Burst trademarked in Europe. Currently, the game has been announced only for Japan as a PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 4 release, but after today's news, it is very likely that the game will be getting localized for Western markets. Of course, there is also the chance that this trademark was made as an early effort to protect the brand globally, which is a move a number of large companies will make in order to safeguard their intellectual properties. Still, the chances of the game getting a Western localization have increased with the latest application. God Eater 2 Rageverse is set to launch in Japan on February 19th on both PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 4.
Alright, moving on. Minutes launched in Europe in the latter part of 2014, and our deputy editor Charlie rather liked it when he reviewed it in November, describing it as, quote, a game that challenges and stimulates while being both simple in premise but difficult to master. Be prepared to lose not only minutes, but hours to this game as you try to master the moving shapes, end quote. One-man Operation Richard Ogden, who created the game under the Red Phantom Games label, has now announced that the game is set to launch in North America on February 10th, and it will have cross-buy with the PS4 version, same as the European release. We have also been told that Red Phantom Games have been working on a patch for Minutes. It addresses the following. Reduced difficulty with target scores for winning the first and second stars having been lowered. Level unlocking will be less linear along with the ability to skip levels. The friend leaderboard bug fix that previously led to game crashes along with additional minor bug fixes. And the patch will launch along with the North American release. However, for those of you that were fine with the game's difficulty, there will be a cheat code published on Red Phantom's website to allow access to those settings for yourself. And moving on, WRC 5 is coming, and it's bringing with it a brand new engine. The next generation of Rally Racer is bound for PlayStation Vita and other consoles this fall, but it's going to be looking a little different. WRC5 has been announced and it's sporting a brand new engine and developer courtesy of Kyloton Games. Here's a scoop on what's in their new engine, the KT Engine HD, and it features a high-end visual game engine supporting dynamic weather and dynamic day-night cycle, vehicle deformations, dirt, and lens flare, a level editor to create living, varied, and realistic environments, alternating driving surfaces such as asphalt, gravel, and snow, a particles editor capable of simulating physics of dust volumes, smoke, dirt, water, and snow projections, a powerful physics engine providing detailed vehicle simulation, allowing realistic handling in any environment and on any driving surface, an advanced damage model offering damage levels ranging from mild damage to complete destruction, and a replays mode with dynamic visualizations inspired by TV broadcasts. In addition to the new engine, Kyloton has been working with Sebastian Chardonnay, the 2013 FIA WRC3 champion, during the concept and planning stages to deliver a game which combines driver, gamer, and technical experience into something representative of the real thing. Alain Jarnot, game director of Kyloton Games, had this to say about the project. Quote, "Our team of racing enthusiasts is developing a new technical tools to offer a true rally simulator from scratch. We are very proud and excited to work on a title dedicated to one of the most challenging and spectacular forms of motorsport." End quote. Could be interesting to see WRC get a refresh from a new developer, though we'll have to wait and see how it actually looks and plays when it reaches our Vitas.
Aw, yeah, can't wait.
And next up, Marvelous's IAVT Colorful is a rhythm game which tasks players to match notes using the analog stick, moving a small circle around a perimeter of large circles, and the face buttons, and is set to include over 60 songs when released. The only problem is that we haven't really had any idea of when to expect it. After 2 delays and much uncertainty about the release since all went quiet in September, we finally get word of a narrowed release window for The Land of the Rising Sun, early this summer. Nothing like a Vocaloid title to get those Vitas some playtime, right guys?
Right.
Right.
I had my mic muted. I had to struggle to get to the buttons. Anyways. Alright. So I've got a long one here, so just sit back and sip some coffee, Kyle. Alright, here we go. Recently, we offered news that God Eater 2 Rage Burst has been trademarked in Europe and the US, and to add more fuel to the speculation of a possible localization, the game's second trailer has been released with English subtitles. Secondly, a new batch of screenshots have been released showing off the game's new special duty missions and blood arts. Here's the details on them. Here we go. New system, special duty missions. A new system where highly difficult missions occasionally occur. These missions, however, feature easily obtainable rare materials. As a reward for carrying out these missions, you can also obtain global ability points, which can be used to upgrade your party characters through the personal ability system. Because chances to engage in these missions disappear as you accept orders for other missions, and there are rewards even for failing missions, aggressively accepting missions is recommended. Global ability points are points required to learn specific personal abilities. They're attained by doing things such as clearing your first mission or clearing special duty missions. Unlike standard AP, GAP is shared by the entire party, so which characters and abilities you choose when consuming it is an important key to their growth. When a special duty mission is available, an indicator will appear in the mission order menu. Return of the Defense Unit also included. The story from God Eater 2 downloadable content Return of the Defense Unit, which sees the Return of the Defense Unit as well as a new operators Teromi Makavi and Yurara Hashino, is also included in the newly rebuilt God Eater 2 Rage Burst. Also, new blood arts. Hummingbird Dance, short blade, changes from the square button air attack. A powerful air attack. Stamina is recovered when it hits, allowing for even more consecutive attacks. Wave Slice. A long blade changes with the triangle button attack, your movement distance increases when you use the triangle attack, and the critical damage increases as you level it. Alder Swing, Buster Blade, changes with the square attack, changes with the square attack. The damage output increases based on the enemy's Origami's weakness. What's more, as it leaves few openings for counterattacks and enhances square button attacks, which are already easy to control, it's an especially useful weapon for attacking at enemy feet. Stork Comet, Boost Hammer, changes with the boost drive, rush towards the enemy at high speed and attack anyone caught in the crossfire. Crescent Arch, Charged Spear, changes with the square attack, forms a blade arch from the oracle and sends it at the enemy. If upgraded, damage dealt to enemy weak points is amplified. Pinwheel Drop, variant size, changes with the aerial triangle attack. While rotating in the air, fall towards the enemy with high momentum. Your stamina will restore when you hit. First print bonuses, so the first print copies of God Eater 2 Rage Burst include the following blood arts. Killer Beehive, short blade, a triangle finish blood art, fires several blades of darkness. Black Sword of Dreams, long blade, a 0 stance blood art, strengthens the standard attack after stance but consumes stamina. CC Runer, Buster Blade, a charge crash blood art, deals great damage to Origami when they're downed. Hard Juggler, Bust Hammer, a bust rush blood art, fires random shells of darkness at the enemy. Ray Driver, Charged Spear, a charge ride blood art, sends a lengthy spear aura towards the enemy. Glaton Fang, variant size, a round fang blood art, recovers stamina when the attack begins. Additionally, you'll get the following weapon when defeating the Orochi Origami, also included with first print copies. The Serpentine Calamity Blade as Ashinzuchi, an evil blade imbued with the bloodlust of the fallen serpent. And to top off this onslaught of news, the release date for the Japanese demo has been announced. Japanese Vita owners will be able to try the game from the first week in February and will be able to sample the beginning of the story. Progress made can be transferred over to the full game when it's released on February 19th. There you go. Next up, Kickstarter is quickly becoming the place where many new Vita games first get their start. Now the developers at Dead Mage are trying to get their new game, Children of Morta, brought to life, and to the PlayStation Vita has made it on the list as a stretch goal. Children of Morta is a roguelike hack-and-slash game starring the Bergson family, who are generational guardians of Mount Morta. They bring peace and stability to the lands around the mountain until one day the corruption arrives. Now the family must defeat these new evils to bring peace back to the land. The game will feature procedurally generated levels to make each adventure new and fresh. The pixel art style is a unique blend of old and new that is very reminiscent of the look of classic computer adventure games. There will also be a fair amount of resource collecting and crafting. Players will be able to play as either Mark Bergson, the father, or any of his 4 children. Mom will be staying at home since baby number 5 is on the way. Each member of the family will have their own unique fighting ability and system of attack. You can also count on other family members such as Uncle Ben and Joey, who are master craftsmen and will create new items for the team to use. Dead Mage will need to raise at least $90,000 if they're going to bring the game to the Vita. As of the time of this writing, they are at $43,000 with 24 days to go. So if that sounds interesting, you should definitely go check out their Kickstarter page, which is posted on the news story, so feel free to go check it out. And next up, Tom Happ is not only the sole creator of the upcoming game Axiom Verge, but he also is a big fan of watching speedruns of his favorite games. There's nothing he'd like more than to have the players who are the best of the best speedrun his new game. The problem is that there are a number of areas in Axiom Verge that are randomly generated so that no 2 playthroughs will be the same. This makes speedrunning the game impossible since you could never compare the same exact runs of 2 different players. The solution? Add a special speedrun mode right into the game. The speedrun mode will make a few changes so that the competitive players will be able to make an accurate comparison of their runs. The first and most obvious change is that the speedrun mode will give all players the exact same seed of the game. This will ensure that enemies will all be in the same location, and the secret locations will no longer be secret. This allows the player to focus on the game and not get distracted by exploring new areas. It also eliminates some of the erratic behavior certain enemies might have. Another helpful feature will allow the players to quickly bypass all of the game's dialogue. Tom points out that the game has a deep and interesting story, but players attempting a speedrun have already seen the story and want to get back to the game. Now they won't have to worry about the dialogue slowing them down. The game will also time how fast the run is and will use various checkpoints throughout the game to let players know how well he or she is doing. The boss battles have been chosen for those moments to alert the player just how fast they're playing. And interestingly, the time will actually be based off the ellipsed frames of the game as opposed to real time. This will level out the playing field in case some players have a smoother performance on a particular console. Axiom Verge is set to release on the PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 4 later in 2015.
Alright, moving on. Tuget and Kiwamini will be headed west this March, and we now have word on the pre-order bonuses available for people who want to secure their copy of the game. North American gamers can net themselves armor inspired by New Slayer's Reki and Soma's costumes, and classic armor from Tukenen's 6 original NPC Slayers if they pre-order from GameStop, while pre-ordering from Amazon will net them 2 exclusive pieces of armor, a set of Tenko gloves, and a Chthonian Fiend mask. As for European gamers, they can secure additional armor for their Slayer, fashioned after newcomers Soma and Reki's costumes if they choose to pre-order from Game. The armors of Tukenen's 6 original NPC Slayers if they choose to pre-order from an independent retailer, and for those pre-ordering from Shop2 or buying the game digitally from the PlayStation Store, they can get 2 pieces of armor, a set of Tenko gloves, and the Chthonian Fiend mask. So if you're looking to pre-order, you might want to consider your choices wisely. Next up, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth is set to launch in Japan on March 12th, and more details of the game's first print edition have been revealed. First of all, the first print edition will include 4 themes so that fans can have Digimon on their Vita's main menu. Also included in the first print edition is access to an extra powerful Agumon. It'll wear a costume similar to the main protagonist of the game and have more powerful attacks and abilities to help the progression through the game. Additionally, Bandai Namco Games have announced that more contents of the game's first edition will be revealed up until March 4th. Next, information about the story has been clarified and is as follows. The strange situation in the real world has an adverse effect on the digital world. When the world's crisis reaches its climax, the Royal Knights travel from the digital world to the real world and make the real world their new stage for battle. The Royal Knights are a group of top tier 10. I don't know where the hell that came from. The Royal Knights are a group of top tier Holy Knight Digimon brought together by Yggdrasil, the host computer that oversees the entirety of the digital world for the express purpose of network security. Though they prophesied to come together in times of great calamity, the Royal Knights themselves aren't necessarily purely good beings in the strictest sense. One, for instance, swears absolute loyalty to Yggdrasil, while another pays heed to someone they've deemed their master, while still another possesses incomparable power, and so on. Each of the knights lives by their own code of justice as they go about their own work. Indeed, so vigilante are their operations at times that they're known to commit great atrocities if they deem such actions to be ultimately for the greater peace and order of the digital world. Knowing that, including those who belong in the empty seats, knights whose power is used as deterrence, there are 13 knights in all, including Omnimon, Crusadermon, Gallantmon, Magnamon, Ulforce Vidramon, Genkumon, and Jesmon, some of which are detailed in the article on the site. You can even battle in the Colosseum. Players can battle against other hackers with their trained Digimon in the Colosseum, which can be accessed from the in-game game center. By winning battles, you can raise your rank higher and higher. Additionally, you can battle against other players from the Digilab in both ad hoc and online modes. There's been a massive fan outcry for this game to come west, so fingers crossed we'll hopefully be reporting on news of a western release of the game soon, But in the meantime, stay tuned for more news leading up to the Japanese launch.
And that's all the news.
No, it's not. You missed
You're
one.
right. I always forget.
One left. So, last one. Dengeki PlayStation has confirmed this week that Alicia Rue and Sakuya will be playable in Sword Art Online Lost Song. This follows on from a TV spot that was released last week in which the two characters were featured for the first time. It has also been announced that the theme song for the game will be sung by Air Oi and Luna Haruna, who will also sing the theme song for the anime. Rather than this being a duet, the two artists will each sing a different song. Air Oi's song, titled Sincere no Hikari, while Luna Haruna's will be titled Yoru no Niji wo Koete. Sword Art Online Lost Song is due to release for PlayStation Vita in Japan on March 26th, with no news yet on a Western localization. But here we sit and wait. And that's the news.
Whoop whoop.
Indeed.
Alright, well, let's head on to those talking points, Kyle. What do we got?
Alright, well, as usual, first up we have announced or released games we're looking forward to from the week. So, what looks good, Tyler?
Well, of course, I really want that Digimon game to get localized. Just seeing that.
I think a lot of people are getting hype on that Digimon game.
Yeah. I'm waiting for that day that Bandai tweets out, or I log on to, or just go to the Vita Lounge. I'm like, oh god, there it is. Just waiting.
Yeah, I almost think that they're fucking with us at this point, not saying anything. Like they have it like on the back burner, and they're just like gonna one day come out and be like, yeah, it's releasing this week on the PlayStation Store, like they do with so many other releases.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
It would be crazy.
But anyways, other than that game, I'm really hoping that another game that Bandai loves to just hold on to, God Eater 2 Rage Burst, I hope that's coming with the news that we got. It's seeming more likely, but you never know. And then WRC 5, like I was saying, I almost platinum WRC 4, so it's safe to say that I like WRC. So yeah, I'm really interested in that one. Gotta learn more about that one. And then, the usual ones, Sword Art Online, J-Stars Victory versus, Senran Kagura Estival versus, and other ones that Kyle likes to let me know about.
So many games, Tyler, so little time.
Yeah. Also, Tokuden Kiwami. I'm thinking about it, but I really didn't play too much of Tokuden, so I mean, is it worth it?
We need to finish some of these games and go back for Tokenen, and then you can decide if it's worth it.
Yeah, I know. Just think, like, if I started playing more Tokuden, doesn't your stuff transfer?
I think so, yes.
So, like, if I played a ton of Tokuden, I got Tokuden Kiwami and then hit transfer, boom, trophy, boom, trophy, boom, trophy!
Well, you might have to do stuff. Like, I know some games, like, even if you transfer whatever, you have to, like, do something or get like one of whatever it is or whatever just to unlock it. So might not just boom, 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 but you'll be ahead of the game, let's say.
Yeah. So maybe I'll do that. I don't know. I could always probably bug the developer to send me a code, but I really want it physically. So we'll see about that. But anyways, Kyle, what are you excited for?
All right. Well, yeah, I'm kind of excited for IAVT Colorful. I'm hoping that it gets a release over here just because of who's involved. Like the Senran Kagura producers involved. It's a marvelous game, so Xseed could bring it over here, that kind of thing. So I'm kind of hoping that comes because I'm kind of getting in on these rhythm games. I got hooked it back in with Bon Appetit, and now I'm playing PDF, and then I'm probably going to get PDF second, and then I'm going to need something else to play, so... Yeah. So yeah, that. Of course, the ones that you mentioned, God Eater 2 Rage Burst, Digimon Story, Sword Art Online, the usuals, for sure.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I think I have to get a couple of pretty much all the releases this week. They are looking interesting, so I'm going to have to, get to work on that.
All right. You will. All right. Is that all for
I
now?
think so. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. If you've been listening to the podcast, especially recently, you know the score. You know what we're looking
Yeah.
forward to.
Yep. All right. Let's head on to the next talking point. What do we got?
All right. Well, this one may be a point of contention for some, but personally, I couldn't care less. The YouTube app is going away this April and has been pulled apparently from the store, according to Tyler, already, and is still going to work until April, but after then, it is officially going away. So, what do you think on that, Tyler? What is your
Well,
opinion?
for me, it's pretty frustrating because as I've said multiple times on this show, that I post videos on YouTube and all that fun stuff, and I know like people use their Vitas to watch my videos. So as a YouTuber, it's a little frustrating taking away a market, I guess, for my videos, which is I don't know. Like it doesn't make sense to me why they'd pull it, other than maybe something is coming later and they just need to get it off and start something new. I don't know, but or it's something with Google and they're mad that because I think the Vita is the only platform. I think also the 3DS might be the same, where you don't actually have to watch any ads, so you're not making any money off of people watching your YouTube videos using the Vita or the 3DS. I can't remember. I can't be for sure if the Vita or the 3DS actually skips ads like the Vita does, but maybe Google got mad at Sony and like, why aren't your videos or why aren't our videos, popping up the ads on the Vita? So they're like, take it down. But other than that, I don't know. It's just stupid. Like every mobile device has YouTube. Why take it away from the Vita? And obviously, they say that the browser can use YouTube, blah blah blah. But so can every mobile device. They also have browsers that can use YouTube, but they also have a YouTube designated app that works really well for that device because it's programmed for that device. But I don't know. It's for me, it's frustrating. I don't see the point of it. I would be okay with them maybe like just saying, we're not going to update the app anymore. YouTube on the Vita is YouTube on the Vita. We're not going to change it ever again. It's going to stay how it is. And then them being done with it. But, taking it off completely and removing it, it's just weird. Something's up. I don't know. Kyle, what about you?
Well, as I said, this doesn't necessarily affect me directly because I don't use YouTube on my Vita. I've usually got some other sort of device handy that I can YouTube with, so it's not a big thing to me. However, as you said, YouTube does work on the browser on the Vita, so it's not like it's gone. So you can still go to YouTube from your Vita. And I was just reading something recently about YouTube pushing for HTML5 video over Flash now. So that's, I guess, their default option when you go to YouTube is that it's pushing HTML5 coded video and audio to your device instead of via Flash, which would make sense if they're pulling the Vita app. Maybe they're ramping up something with regards to HTML5 and having I know that they can detect what device is connecting, so they could obviously load some sort of different profile for the Vita, or maybe it's screen size, and maybe we can get something better YouTube related as a web HTML5 app than you would with what we have for the YouTube app. So maybe it's just that they're moving towards that, and it's a little bit of a premature step taking it down, but what can you do? Hopefully that's the case. But yeah, it still works. It's just, I guess, not as clean as an app is, and people love their apps. So
Yeah. Yeah, you never know. I mean, it is going to be a while before it actually is no longer useful, which it's April. So I mean, maybe they'll announce something within that time. Like, guess what? This is what's coming. This is what's replacing it. Blah blah blah. So I don't know, but yeah, for some people it's going to be a little bit more frustrating than others.
definitely.
Whereas like the YouTube app on my Vita works better than it does on my phone. So it's a little frustrating for me. But obviously, I guess I'm just gonna have to start using my phone more for YouTube. But yeah. All right, I think that's enough talk about that. Unless you have something else, you want to go to the next one?
No, no, that's good. We can go to the next one.
All
So the
right.
next one sort of has something to do with that, and it's an announcement that came along with the announcement of the YouTube app going away, and that's the Maps app is going away as well. It's going away in April, and as you know, it's what we call a root app. It's there no matter what. It's not like you can delete it. So it'll be removed with a firmware update. And it'll also be removing features from Near that use the maps system. So I'm not sure exactly what it entails that they're removing, if they're changing anything so you can still get that, location data, or if they're removing all the location data entirely. I have no idea, but they're doing some stuff. So there you have it. What do you think, Tyler?
I don't use it, so I'm fine with them taking it away. But I mean, it could be that whole thing where someone uses this a lot, and it could be frustrating for them. But I mean, if you use it, that sucks that it's getting taken away. But if you don't, then no loss, really. I guess it's
You
a
know,
little weird though.
yeah, I always thought that they should have done something with Near. I always thought they should have made it bigger, should have put it on other platforms. Like, I mean, you don't have to necessarily be a portable device to use Near. And if it was pushing things like, how it you could upload, items from games and certain stuff like that, I thought that was a really cool idea, and they should have really taken advantage of that. And then now they're already removing features that I'm probably safe at saying that's one of the next things to go if they start removing anything else. So um, it's kind of sad to me that the Maps app going away takes away something from that, because that's kind of the end of that as well. But as
Yeah,
for the Maps app itself, yeah, I really don't care. I never used it. I think I turned it on once to see what it was like. Who cares? I don't
yeah,
have a 3G Vita. I'm not mapping anything. If I want Google Maps, I'm going to use a computer because I can navigate easier. It's just the way it is.
yeah, yeah. It's I don't know. Hopefully, it's not a sign of things to come, like more things being removed. I don't understand. Maybe it's just Google's doing some crazy stuff and they just need to redo their apps and they can't use the base app or something. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know. I'd like to see them do sort of an overhaul on the app system. I'd like to see them, update some things, maybe integrate some things just into the settings menu that are there, kind of superfluous to everything else. I don't know. They could do with
Yeah,
some updating, and maybe the ability to turn some apps off or remove some core apps, those root apps, would be nice as well. But
yeah. Just put all the root apps up on the store and then be like, yeah, you can remove them now.
yeah, all we really need is the trophies app, and you probably don't even need that, because I'm sure there's some people out there who don't give a shit about trophies and are like, oh, just get rid of it. But I think that's a good one to be root. The trophies app, the PlayStation Store app, the settings app.
Yeah,
That's pretty much all you need. Like, I mean, a content manager assistant maybe, but even that you could download. I don't know. You don't need much, but they've got a lot on there.
yeah. Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see if more news comes about this. But other than that, no more YouTube, no more maps. Let us know what you guys think. Send us emails, send us tweets. Are you upset about this? Let us know.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you guys. If you send us your thoughts, we could put it on our next cast. So do it up.
All right. Um, Another talking point here that Kyle doesn't know about, that I
Ooh.
thought of while we were going through the podcast. It's a short one. You kind of mentioned it already, but um, what did you get with your 10% discount, Kyle?
All right, I got what was it?
The DLC,
Yeah,
right?
I know. I'm trying to remember what the name of it was. The actual like name of the DLC pack. It was oh, um hairstyle set 2. Hairstyle set 2 for Senran Kagura Shinobi versus, and it was $1.99, and I got it for $1.80.
Ooh,
So
was it worth it?
I mean, it's a hairstyle set. I'm just collecting the DLC at this point. So, I mean, if I ever want to change to that set, it'll be more worth it. But just to have it all, I'm kind of that kind of person sometimes, and I have to have it all for Sandman.
I gotcha. I'm the same way. Like every week or every Tuesday, I look to see if there's new Freedom Wars DLC. So I feel you.
Yeah, so the addiction sometimes of the buys.
Yep.
I got it.
All right. Well, that's all you got, right?
Yeah, what did you get?
So I picked up the Unfinished Swan and Dead Nation, and both for the Vita. Haven't played either of them yet, but I have them and I've been wanting them, so I'm happy about that. And I got them for like $7, like total.
Nice.
So yeah, it was a nice little purchase right there. I think I saved like $1 something, $2. I don't know, saved something. Well,
very nice.
There we go. Let us know, people, like I said earlier, about the YouTube and Maps app, but let us know what you picked up for your 10% discount if you got anything. But alright, let's head on to that listener mail, Kyle. We got quite a few here, so let's do it.
Yeah, we've got quite a few. Jumping in, the first one up, we've got Xtema, at Xtema on Twitter, and he says, I think it's a wise move to port Rebirth 1 and 2 to Steam. Helps sales and fan base. They're best on Vita anyway. What do you think? So what do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's already a big fan base of the Hyperdimension Neptunia series, which is what he's talking about, Rebirth 1 and 2. It's just getting more people aware of the game, and perhaps someone on Steam will look up more about it and be like, oh, it's on the go? It's on the Vita? I think I might need to get a Vita. You know, this could be like one of their favorite games, and bam, they buy a Vita because they want to take that game on the go. So yeah, I mean, more people being aware of Vita games, the better, I guess.
Yeah, I think so too. And, PC has never really been one of those platforms that competes with the Vita. So, if somebody has, a PC, Vita is one of those consoles where they might actually jump into, the console area, even if they're not a console player, because it's a portable and it's something different. So, it could definitely do something for the sales of the game and maybe the sales of the Vita. But we'll have to wait and see because, that's the way the market is.
Exactly.
So we hope we answered your question, Xtema, and thanks again for asking it.
All right, next question.
All right, next up is from Gabriel Forever, and that's at Gabriel_4 and then an EVR. And he says, has PlayStation Plus ever prevented you from purchasing a game because it was already on your PlayStation Plus download list? PlayStation Plus screws you sometimes, he says. So, what about you, Tyler? Has PlayStation Plus ever prevented you from purchasing a game because it was already on your PlayStation Plus download list?
Wait a minute, I'm confused.
Alright, so he's saying that, okay, say you want a game, right? Say you want, I don't know, Gravity Rush. You already have Gravity Rush via PlayStation Plus, but say you want that game anyway, you have it on PlayStation Plus, you can't buy it and have it so no matter what. You know how like some people don't always have Plus?
Yeah.
Like us? Yeah, those people sometimes want games that they can play without the subscription. He's asking if PlayStation Plus has ever prevented you from purchasing a game because it was already on your download list and you couldn't buy it again.
Okay. Well, quick answer, no. Ever since I bought PlayStation Plus, I've had it. And I've not wanted to unsubscribe, and I've not wanted to buy any games that I've gotten through it because I'm going to constantly have PlayStation Plus.
Alright. Well, as for me,
Chugga.
Yeah, it's 5:30 in the morning, and apparently the train likes to come by in the middle of the night and just fuck with me.
It's a nice sound effect.
So sorry, people.
That's alright.
But yeah, I don't think PlayStation Plus has ever prevented me from purchasing a game because it was already on my download list. Because most of the games that I would want, that are games that I got via Plus that I would want, to get and have, I would want them physical copy, not digital copy. So I wouldn't really care if they were on sale or something, and I couldn't get them that way because I'd be getting them physical and it wouldn't matter. So it
Yeah.
wouldn't screw me out of anything. So yeah, no. All right.
Well, all right.
Moving on. The next one is from Ralston, and that's at Riley Snots on Twitter. And they ask, like they did at PlayStation Experience last month, what are the chances that Sony will talk about the Vita at conferences like E3?
Well, I guess we'll answer the first question first. um, I think it's a little bit more likely that it's going to happen, but at the same time, they've surprised us many times before, so don't hold your breath.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't like to talk about Vita at these E3 and these events. They just don't. Seems like they're hush hush about all things Vita and they don't want to say anything. And then people kind of flip out because they weren't talked about there. So I don't know. They don't know if they've learned their lesson yet on that. I'm kind of of the mind we'll have to wait and see because anything could happen.
Yeah.
All right. So Ralston, Riley Snots, also sent in a second question, and the second question is, what does PlayStation Now mean for the future in relation to Vita? What do you think, Tyler?
Well, I think it's going to be one of the best platforms to play a lot of the library that is offered by PlayStation Now, because you can play it on the go and it has all the physical buttons. So, if they were smart, which they're not, and they marketed it more on the Vita and showed what the Vita can do and this new feature that's available via PlayStation Now, blah blah blah. It could really help the Vita, but I don't really see them doing that. So I mean, if you own the Vita, you know about the Vita, then I think it's just a really good opportunity for you to get to play more games that aren't on the Vita. But yeah. What about you, Kyle?
All right. Well, I think it's kind of complicated. Because first of all, PlayStation Now is only available in certain areas, so it's not like there's coverage everywhere. And not everyone can use it because it requires a certain amount of internet quality and internet connection speed to perform properly. But when it works and when it's available, it it's something that I think could definitely help the Vita, especially being that the Vita is so portable and you could go anywhere with the Vita, and as long as you have an internet connection, be able to play these games, provided that internet connection is good enough. Um, I think it could be the platform to play these games on. You said with the physical buttons and stuff, I completely agree that you need physical buttons to play these kind of games. And even though the Vita doesn't have all the buttons that the PlayStation controller has, with remote play and stuff, it's shown that with customizable controls and stuff like that, if you throw that kind of thing in there, you can get well enough that you can play the games. And I think that's the main deal about it. If somebody can make the game playable, then that's 90% of the battle. And
Yeah.
if you can get these games playable on the Vita and they work for you, it could definitely be a selling point for the system because it's just kind of easier to play on Vita than it is to play on anything else. And I think that's why we love the Vita so much, is just because we play it so much because it's so easy to play.
Yes.
So yeah, what does it mean? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. What could it mean? Lots of things.
Exactly. And we will wait and find out when Sony doesn't do anything about it.
Yeah, most likely.
All right, I'm gonna take the next question
All right.
and make you answer first.
Sweet.
All right, Fletcher at Pool Pole 712 POOLE 712 asks, do you guys think Revelations 2, Resident Evil Revelations 2, will hold up well on the Vita? Kyle, will it?
I don't see why not. I mean, the game isn't. Well, it is and it isn't. Super graphically intensive. Like, I mean, I don't think it's going to be something that the Vita can't handle. It's just going to be whether or not whoever's bringing it to us has the coding and expertise to get it there, you know, in one piece. So,
Yeah.
um, if they do, though, I think the Vita is definitely capable of playing the game with no problems. It's just a matter of how good the team getting it there is. So we'll have
Yeah.
to wait and see. What about you, Tyler? What do you think?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with exactly what you said. Um, yeah, it really depends on who's holding it, and yeah, like you said, the game doesn't look too crazy, but I mean, it's still up there. Just hand it to the guys at Gorilla Cambridge. They did a great job with
There you
Killzone.
go.
All right, yeah. Thank you, Fletcher, for that one. And I guess I'll read the next one too, just because got to give Kyle a break. Sometimes he gets tired, and Tyler has to take over, and it happens.
I got some time to
Anyway,
drink my coffee.
there you go. All right, so thank you, Fletcher. Anyways, next up, Shay Batty asks her Twitter is at Bergster30 BERGSTER30. She asks, have you ever played any games that you'd consider life changing? If so, what games and why?
Life changing.
Kyle.
I don't know about life changing. There's been games where I've gotten really into them to the point where I felt emotionally connected to the characters, but I don't know about life changing. That seems a bit dramatic.
Yeah. I mean, I could say the game that really got me into games. Like, if I didn't play this game, who knows what I'd be doing right now? And that would be. It's not a PlayStation game, so I'm sorry. But it was The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. It was like my favorite game when I was a little kid. I played it so many times. I've beaten that game like 10 times. And it was just. It was the best. It was the best game I ever played. And I love it so much. But yeah. There's a ton of games also that I've really, like Kyle, you said that you connected with the characters. The Last of Us being one of the recent ones that I really got into and loved the story and was like, wow, this is crazy. This is what video games are now.
Yeah, yeah, I still can't think of any life changing games. Some of the stuff that touched me, like I said, Heavy Rain, that was a big one for me. I thought that was really interesting how you kind of got in each character's mind. Another one from Quantic Dream was Fahrenheit Indigo Prophecy, for those in the States, I believe. That one was really unique in its storytelling and narrative. Um, there's just so many. Those are the ones that really stick out for me, which is kind of telling. I guess I like Quantic Dreams quite a bit, although I didn't particularly like what they were doing with Beyond Two Souls, but I might give it another try.
Yeah.
You never know.
All right. Freedom Wars has been fun. I don't know if it's life changing.
Yeah, it's been fun. Yeah, I don't know about life changing. It's definitely a unique mechanic with the whole thorn thing. I think I'm not going to accuse them of stealing it, but I think they borrowed the idea from Attack on Titan. But I'm totally cool with that because I think it is the coolest thing, and I think, especially with all the virtual reality stuff that's going on coming up, I hope they do something with that in virtual reality because I think that'd be the
Yeah,
bomb.
it'd be crazy.
Ah, yeah.
Also, Shay, nice job on getting the platinum. I saw that you got the platinum trophy, so congratulations. You beat Kyle.
Yeah, you beat me. You beat me. And thanks for helping me.
Aw, yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Shay, for that question. You should let us know what your game was life changing if you had one. So yeah.